Welcome back for another video dealing with matrix operations. So let's just start up with a warm-up here, and then I'm going to teach you something new. So let's say I want to take this matrix times this matrix. Like I talked about at the end of the last video, it's important that we look at the dimensions. So we have a 2 by 2 matrix times a 2 by 4 matrix. So the first question is, can we actually multiply these? Okay, and when we look at these numbers, the number of columns in the first does equal the number of rows in the second, and our resulting matrix will be a 2 by 4 matrix. So let's get that set up. 2 by 4, so 2 rows, 4 columns. All right. So let's work through this. Top left, top row, left column. 3 by 1 plus 1 times 2. Top. Okay, so what do I want to call this? It's top row, but this would be the second column. So I'm going to take the top row times the second column. 3 times 0 plus 1 times 1. Top row, third column, top row, third column, 3 times 2 plus 1 times 1, and top row, right column, 3 times 0 plus 1 times 3. So, got our top row done. Now we just go to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay. Top, bottom row, left column, 4 times 1 plus 2 times 2. Bottom row, right column, or bottom row, second column, 4 times 0 plus 2 times 1. Then we're going to go, what color am I on? Green, 4 times 2 times 2 times 1. And pink, 4 times 2, or 4 times 0 plus 2 times 3. So we get, what do we have here? 3 plus 2 is 5. 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. That's 3. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's a 2. That's an 8 plus a 2, which is a 10. And that is 6. That is our resulting matrix. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a little bit of a warm-up for us, and now what I want to show you guys is how to use our calculator for this. Matrices are a great tool because it really works well when we use them with technology. It's important that we understand how they work, and that's why I had you guys do what we've done so far by hand. But now let's show how nicely the calculator will do this. So, okay, grab your calculator, or if you have downloaded the TI-84 calculator on your computer, let's grab that. So you will notice when you take a look at your calculator here that somewhere you will see the word matrix, and it's right there, okay, in blue. So we're going to go second, matrix. Now here are the names of all the matrices that we can store. There's a whole bunch of them in there. And we're going to go over and we are going to choose to edit matrix A. So to edit matrix A, I will select that, and it first asks for the dimensions of matrix A, which would be a 2 by 2. So we're going to put in a 2 by 2. Okay, that looks good, and then we'll just type in our matrix, 3, 1, 4, 2. All right, that looks good. Now we need a matrix, a second matrix, and we're going to call that matrix B. So we're going to have to go back to second matrix. We're going to choose to edit matrix B. Matrix B was a 2 by 4. Okay. And taking a look at that matrix, it was 1, 0, 2, 0. And then 2, 1, 1, 3. All right. So once that matrix is in, I want you to quit. Okay, go back to your home page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take matrix A times matrix B. To do that, we're going to go second matrix. Now this is where you select the name of the matrix. A times. We're going to go second matrix, and now we're going to select B. Matrix A times matrix B. Hit enter, and there it is. And I hope that matches. 5, 1, 7, 3, 8, 2, 10, 6. Whoops. There it is. Pretty simple. Now what if we wanted to take matrix B times matrix A? And we'll just go second matrix. We'll choose B times second matrix. We will choose A. Oh, and what happens here? It says dimension mismatch. If we switch the order of these, can we take a 2 by 4 times a 2 by 2? And the answer is no, we can't. So your calculator will catch that for you. All right, let's look at one little application here. This is not systems related. That's going to be coming in our next video. But let's just look at how matrices can be used for other purposes other than systems. So let's say two of the items at Sweet Treats Bakeries would be bagels and donuts. The table lists the number of dozens of each production that were sold at the bakery's 3 stores during 1 week. Okay, so this bakery must have 3 different stores, one on Main Street, one on Avon Road, one on Dalton Avenue. The profit of 1 dozen bagels is $5, and the profit on 1 dozen donuts is $6. Find the total profit of each store for the week. Okay. So let's think how we would approach this if we did not use matrices. Well, if we wanted to know the total profit for each store, if I wanted to find the total profit for Main Street, what would I have to do? I would have to take 25 dozen bagels times what was the profit on a dozen bagels? 5. I'd have to take 25 times 5. 25 dozen bagels times $5 per dozen. Then what would I have to do? I would have to add on the profit from the donuts. And that would be 40 dozen donuts times the profit for a dozen donuts is $6 per dozen. And I would get whatever that number is. Now look at the way that's written. Doesn't that remind you of matrix multiplication? 25 times 5 plus 40 times 6. That looks a lot like what we see here. So what we can do in this case, okay, is we can set up 2 matrices. Okay. Now, let's see here. How are we going to set this up? Well, our first matrix is simply going to be our profit matrix, which is $5. There we go. $5 for the bagels and $6 for the donuts. Now, why did I do a 2 by 1? Well, remember, when we multiply matrices, we take the row times the column, 25 times 5 plus 6 times 40. That's exactly what we want to do. So if we set it up like this, it's going to do exactly what we want. It's going to take 5 times 25 plus 6 times 40. And it's going to take 5 times 30 plus 6 times 35, 5 times 20, and 6 times 15. And we can use matrices, particularly on our calculator, to do this quickly. Now let's just do a little dimension check here. What are the dimensions of this matrix? This has 1 row, 2 columns. This matrix has 2 rows, 3 columns. Notice those are the same. What are the dimensions of our resulting matrix? A 1 by 3. 1 row, 3 columns. And why are we expecting to have 3 numbers, 3 elements in our answer here? Because what are we trying to find? We're trying to find the total profit for each store for each week. And notice Main Street's profit is going to be in the first column. Avon Road's profit is going to be in the second column. Dalton's Avenue is going to be in the third. We want 3 numbers, 1 for each store. So let's set this up on our calculator. I'm going to, well, first off, I got to quit out of that error message. Let's go to Matrix. Let's choose to edit. Matrix A. Now let's make it a 1 by 2 with just the numbers 5 and 6. We're going to go back to matrix. We're going to choose to edit matrix B, which is now what? A 2 by 3. And our numbers are 25, 30, 20. And in the bottom row, 40, 35, 15. There we go. I'm going to quit out of that. Then I'm going to take matrix. Oops, didn't get the second button. Oh, I'm actually hitting the wrong button. There we go. Matrix A times matrix B. There we go. 365, 360, 190. So find the total profit for each store. Main Street, its profit, $365. Avon Road's profit, $360. Dalton Avenue, its profit, $190. All right, so there, one application and showing you how to use matrices on your calculator. I hope you find this helpful. We'll see you next time.